We are going to be just taking things a little bit slower this morning. I'm still kind of getting over a bit of a cold, so I thought it would be a nice opportunity to do a bit more of a restorative session today. So we're really going to focus on slowing things down, working with our breath, and really doing some things that are going to feel really good in our bodies today. So all we need are cans or weights, whatever you can get your hands on. Just a couple of cans from the cupboard is absolutely fine. But if you have got dumbbells, then obviously please feel free to use those. And just make sure you've got a drink to hand, any warm layers, anything like that that you might need to make yourselves comfortable throughout the session. It's a chilly one again today, so just make sure you're staying warm. And as always, just needing your chair and a nice non-slip surface underneath you. So if, like me, you're on a wooden floor, if you have got a yoga mat or a rug or something like that that you can put underneath you, just to stop the chair slipping around underneath you when we come to doing our sequence and bearing our weight onto the chair a little bit more, and just keeping ourselves nice and safe. That's great. So, sorry, we're going to get started with our warm-up and our breathing. So first of all, let's make sure that we're sitting in a good position for our breathing and our posture here. So moving forwards to the front of your chair, bringing your back off the backrest, sitting up nice and tall, thinking about drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, rolling them down and together at the back, stacking the spine all the way up, vertebrae on top of vertebrae, and thinking about lifting up through the top of the head all the way to the ceiling. Just finding a comfortable place for your hands to relax, whether that's in your lap or by your side, whatever works for you. And then we're just going to start with a few breathing exercises just to help us focus and bring our attention to our bodies. So you can close your eyes here if you want to. But sitting nice and tall, we're just going to think about breathing nice and gently in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just to start with, taking it at your own pace, just letting that breath flow in and out. And then nice and slowly, we're going to start to deepen that breath a little bit more. So taking a big deep breath in through the nose, seeing if you can breathe a bit deeper, and breathing out through the mouth a little bit longer and slower. And with each breath, see if you can lengthen the inhale and the exhale. And then we're going to try and make the exhale twice the length of the inhale. So if you can, we're breathing in for 3 and out for 6. So really slowing down that exhale. Let's do that all together. Here we go. Ready? Big deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, and out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again, big deep breath in for 3, 1, 2, 3, and breathing out for 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time, big deep breath in for 3. See if you can sit even taller as you take that big inhale. 2, 3, and out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. And then just letting your breath come back into its natural rhythm. And just noticing whether that falls back into a slightly deeper, longer breath now. And then taking that calm energy we've created from those deep breaths and just taking a moment to send it into the body. So if you notice that you started the session today, maybe feeling in a little bit of a rush, or you had a bit of a buzz of energy with you today, let's see if we can just take those breaths into the body to bring a nice neutral, calm into the body before we get started. And then from here, we're going to start to warm the body up. So just gently taking the head over to one side, ear towards shoulder, and then rolling the chin to the chest, and taking the other ear to the other side, and back again. So we're drawing little half circles round, gently stretching into the neck. As you roll the head around from one side to the other. Keep that going just for a few more half circles. Perfect. And then bringing the head to the middle, and we're going to move to the shoulders, starting with a forward roll, rolling the shoulders up, forwards, down and back. Nice big circles. Noticing any tightness in the shoulders, and just seeing if we can work through that tightness, breathing as you go. Trying to release any tension that might have built up in the shoulders already this morning. 2 more here. And then we're going to change direction, going up, back, down and forwards. Nice big juicy circles, and just notice the slight opening of the chest here as well as we take the arms back. Relaxing the arms. So we're not adding any extra tension into the shoulders. 2 more here, nice and big, and then relaxing. And then we're going to start to warm up across the chest and the top of the shoulders, just coming into our hug the tree pose. So interlacing the fingers in front, making a big sort of beach ball with the arms, sitting up tall and then bringing the chin to the chest, curling the tummy button back towards the spine, and creating a little bit of tension in the arms here so that we're introducing a nice stretch along the top of the shoulders. And then we're going to open in the opposite direction and open the chest, look up slightly. So we're stretching the opposite side of the body, stretching the front of the body here, and then coming back through, stretching across the back. Adding the breath in, we're breathing in as we open, breathing out as we close back down. Keep that going, nice big stretches. Lovely. Opening the chest, arching the back, and then curling the back in, and stretching across the top of the shoulders. Let's do 4 more here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then bringing the hands back to the lap. And we're just going to take some gentle side stretches now. So taking one hand either just by your side, or you can hold on to the seat of the chair here if you need to. Sweeping the other arm up first, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then over to the side. And then swapping sides, up and over. And introducing the breath, breathing in as we reach up, breathing out as we fold over. Keep that going. Seeing if we can fold into that side stretch a little bit further each time. Lovely. Keeping the chest and the hips facing forwards, and keeping that underneath shoulder down away from the ear. So if you're holding onto the chair, it might be a little bit tempting here to push into the chair and bring that shoulder up to the ear. Try to not to do that, try to relax that shoulder down, away from the ear. If that's tricky, then see if you can do it without holding onto the chair, just to encourage that shoulder to stay down. 4 more here. 1, 2, 3, last one. 4, and then coming back up to the middle And then we're going to move into just a gentle twist around the torso. So bringing the hands to the shoulders, elbows up to shoulder height, sitting nice and tall. We're just gently twisting around the spine from side to side. If you can take it a little bit further as we begin to move, please do. I'm a little bit restricted with how far I can twist now. If you can start to take it a bit further around towards the back shoulder as you warm up through the spine, then please do. Keeping those shoulders down and the elbows nice and high. Okay. And then gently coming back to the middle and releasing the arms. And then we're going to move to the hips, bringing one leg up on top of the other leg, ankle on top of the thigh. And we're just going to gently lift and lower the knee here, just starting to mobilize into the hip. If you can lift it a little bit more, please do. Just start to get that hip moving. Still sitting tall, still letting that breath flow in and out. Lovely. And then just lowering it down. And as you sit tall and breathe in, we're going to then breathe out and just let that knee drop and relax out to the side. And again, breathing in, sitting tall. Breathing out and just allowing the leg to be heavy and drop out to the side. And then this time, third time, big deep breath in. As you breathe out, just come forward slightly and extend that stretch into the hip by tipping forwards at the hips like a hinge. So we're not curling down towards the leg, but we're hinging forwards from the hips, keeping the back nice and long. Lovely. Keeping that underneath foot flex just to protect the knee joint, keep everything in alignment. Breathing through the stretch here. And then releasing that foot and bringing it back to the floor and swapping sides. So bringing the other leg up on top. And we're going to start just by mobilizing those joints, lifting and lowering, working into the hip. Again, if you can move your leg a little bit more, if you've got a bigger range of motion than me at the moment, then please work into that. Do what feels good for your body. And then relaxing the leg out, taking a big deep breath in, sitting tall, breathing out and concentrating on letting that knee drop out to the side towards the floor. And again, big deep breath in, sitting tall, breathing out and relaxing in the hip, allowing the knee to drop towards the floor. One more time, big deep breath in, sitting tall. And this time, as you breathe out, we're going to hinge forwards in the hips, keeping the back nice and flat. Just hold it here for 2 to 3 breaths. We're gently releasing, letting the leg come back down to the floor. And just taking some nice, easy ankle warm-ups. So just coming up onto the balls of the feet and then all the way back down. Keeping that going, making sure that we're moving all the way through the feet. Nice smooth motion. Rising up onto the toes and then back down to the floor. And starting to feel the warmth building in the calf muscles as well. Let's do that for 10 more seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then just taking some ankle rotation, so sliding one leg out away from you, just lifting the foot off the floor slightly so that we can rotate the foot in one direction. And in the other direction. Excellent. And then lowering it down and stepping over to the other side. We're taking ankle circles in one direction. And again in the other direction. You might notice a little bit of clicking in the ankle here. As long as it's not painful, it's nothing to worry about. Excellent. And then relaxing and bringing the feet back to the floor. And then from here, we're going to move into our weighted work and going with the idea of keeping things kind of a bit slower, a bit more restorative this week. We're going to do a slow down arm exercise with our weights this week. So we're going to, first of all, just generally slow the exercise down, but we're particularly going to focus on the down motion, which often gets neglected in weighted work. People think about the lifting, but they don't necessarily think about the way back down, which can be just as beneficial to building that strength in our muscles as the up motion. So we're going to focus on that today. So picking up your weights, we're going to start with a bicep curl. So keeping the elbows tucked in, shoulders up, back and down. We're just curling the arms up towards the shoulders and then back down. But this week, we're going to think about slowing the down motion. So we're going to count to 2 as we bring the arms up. 1, 2, and then 4 on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to do that 8 times before we change exercise. So here we go. Coming up for 1, 2, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more to go. Up for 2 and down for 4. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Up for 2 and down for 4. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And then turning the hands so that they're facing in towards the chair, we're going to change to a side raise. So just taking the arms out to the side at shoulder height, making sure the shoulders are rolled back and down, and then bringing the hands back down to the side. And again, we're going up for 2 and down for 4. So here we go. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. 1, 2, and down. 1, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway now. Keep going. And down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more to go. Up for 2 and down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Up for 2 and down. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Well done. Starting to feel it, hopefully, in the arms now. So just giving the shoulders a little roll before we move on. The next one is a shoulder press. So going to take the hands up to the shoulders. We're pressing up to the sky, and then we're going nice and slow on the way back down. Okay, here we go, going up for 2. 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, nice and slow, 3, 4, up for 2, 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up for 2, 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up for 2, 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, halfway, 4 more to go, up for 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more to go, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 1, 2, and down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, excellent, well done. Just relaxing for a moment before we move into a back row. So for this one, you need to make sure you're nice and forwards on your chair. We're going to tip forwards in the hips slightly, just to bring the chest over the legs. Take the arms down by the side, and then we're pulling them up as if we're rowing, but sort of leaning forward. So normally you'd row like this, but we're just going to take the body weight forward so that we're working into those back muscles using the force against gravity, having to pull those weights up against gravity. So again, going up for 2 and down nice and slow. Of course, it's almost like we're resisting gravity on the way back down. We're trying to slow down the kind of urge to just let it drop. Really control, and then we're using all of those muscles to control that down movement. So let's do it 8 times, back row. Our nice slow down exercise. Here we go. Up for 2, 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again up for 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up for 2, 1, 2, down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, again, 1, 2, squeeze at the top if you can, and down for 4, 2, 3, 4, halfway, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, up and squeeze, and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, up for 2, 1, 2, squeeze at the top, and down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, all the way up, squeeze at the top, and down, 2, 3, 4, excellent. Pop those weights down. Just give those shoulders a little roll, give the arms a little shake. Excellent. So it doesn't look like much, it seems very slow, but that real control on the way down starts to build some strength and tension in those arms. So hopefully we're all feeling that work in the arms now. So from here, we're going to move into our sequence. So we're going to come up to standing and turn to face our chairs. So I'm going to turn this way this week. And we're going to take quite a simple sequence this week with poses that we've been doing for several weeks now that are hopefully nice and familiar. And what we're really going to focus on is the technique, so making sure that we're in those positions correctly, and then breathing and sinking into those postures, really getting the benefit from them. So we're going to start facing our chairs, standing nice and tall, taking a big deep breath in and reaching the arms up overhead. And then breathing out and folding forwards, coming to the chair, finding a nice flat back position, and just taking a moment here to lengthen in the spine. And then from here, we're stepping the feet back and coming into pose, downward facing dog. So pressing the hips and the bottom backwards, drawing the chest towards the thighs, stretching through the arms. And taking 2 to 3 breaths here, really focusing on pressing the hips and the bottom back and stretching through those legs. Lovely. From here, we're going to step 1 foot forward and come into warrior 1. So stepping one forwards, turning the back foot 45 degrees, and either staying on the chair, lifting the chest, or sweeping the arms up, pressing through the legs, and coming to warrior one. Taking a big deep breath in, and then breathing out, and sinking down. And again, 2 to 3 breaths here, seeing if we can sink a little bit lower with each breath. If you need to, you can widen that stance to allow you to sink a little bit lower, keeping the hips facing forwards. Lovely. And then from here, we're opening to warrior two. So turning that back foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat, opening the hips to the side, bringing the arms to shoulder height, breathing in, reaching up through the top of the head, breathing out and sinking down. And holding it here. And then from here, we're going to move into a salutation. So taking the back hand down the back leg, lifting the front arm up towards the sky, looking up towards that front hand. And again, 2 to 3 breaths here. Nice strong legs. Excellent. And then from here, we're bringing the front hand down onto the chair, sweeping that back arm up and over and coming into our extended side angle. So we're trying to create a nice straight line from the fingertips all the way down the body to the back heel. So thinking about just pressing that back hip forward slightly, create that lovely long straight line, making sure that front knee is still pressing out over the front toes. It's not rocking in towards the midline. And again, 2 to 3, lovely big deep breaths here. Excellent. And then bringing that top arm down onto the chair, twisting the hips, turning that back foot in and stepping the front foot back, coming back to our downward facing dog pose. Enjoying that stretch here. Okay. And then from here, stepping the feet forwards, coming back to that flat back position, lengthening through the spine, breathing in, breathing out and folding all the way down. Again, taking 2 to 3 breaths here. And then softening in the knees and sweeping all the way back up to standing. Breathing in and breathing out as you bring the hands down the middle. Excellent. So we're going to do the same on the other side, nice and slow. And this week, normally we speed up after we've done 2. But this week, we're going to keep it nice and slow for all 4. So do it on the other side, and then we'll start again from the beginning and really focus on our breath. So here we go. Big deep breath in, reaching all the way up. Breathing out and folding down, bringing the hands to the seat of the chair, lengthening through that spine, nice long flat back. Then from here, we're stepping the feet back and coming into our downward facing dog. Pressing the hips back, lengthening of the arms, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Stretching here. 2 to 3 lovely big breaths here. And then stepping forwards with the other leg to prepare for warrior one, turning that back foot to 45 degrees, staying on the chair and lifting the chest, or pressing through those legs and sweeping the arms up overhead, breathing in as you reach up, breathing out as you sink down. Giving yourself a bit more length in the pose if you need to. We're making sure that front knee is tracking over the front toe, that it's not rocking in or rolling out. Pressing all of the toes into the floor. Seeing if we can sink a little bit lower as we exhale in this pose. And then after 2 to 3 breaths, opening out to warrior 2, sinking back down as you breathe out, knee over toe at the front, back foot parallel with the back of the mat now, arms at shoulder height, shoulders rolled down the back, so we're not hunching the shoulders, drawing them away from the ears, and again sinking down as you breathe out. And then preparing for a salutation, taking the back hand down the back leg, lifting the front arm high, and looking up towards those fingers. Stretching all the way down this front side of the body. And after 2 to 3 breaths, bringing that front hand down to the chair, bringing the back arm up and all the way along the ear into our extended side angle, pressing into the legs, keeping that front knee over the toes. Breathing, 2 to 3 big deep breaths here, keeping that top shoulder down away from the ear. And then continuing that hand over to the chair, turning the back foot in, stepping the front foot back, and coming into downward facing dog one more time. Just remembering here that you can have that soft bend in your knees if you need to. So we're not locking the knees out. And that might help you just to press into those hips a little bit further. Draw that chest down towards the thighs a bit further. Then after 2 to 3 breaths here, stepping the feet forwards, coming into our half fold on the chair. Nice long back. Tabletop position, breathing in and lengthening, breathing out and folding down. Coming to a full fold wherever that works for you, whether it's resting on the chair or bringing fingers to the floor, it's up to you. Try and relax the head of the neck. And then soften the knees, breathing in and sweeping all the way up to standing. Now breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Excellent, well done. Okay. We're going to take that all again on both sides, nice and slow. And I really just want you to think about deepening into those stretches, taking those lovely big deep breaths, focus on working into the poses and really getting the most out of them. And hopefully that's also going to get us feeling nice and warm as well. So rather than speeding it up to raise the heart rate, this week we're really thinking about deepening in those poses. I'm just going to close my window so I can see a bit of a breeze come through before we go again. So let's get ready to go twice, once on each side, nice and slow, one more time. Here we go, big deep breath in, reaching up. Breathing out and folding forward, nice long back in tabletop position. Stepping back and coming into downward facing dog. Lengthening the arms, bringing the chest towards the thighs. Breathing here, 2 to 3 lovely big deep breaths. As you breathe out, see if you can sink into the pose a little bit further. Excellent. And then stepping 1 foot forwards, turning the back foot 45 degrees, preparing for warrior 1, either on the chair or pressing through the legs and sweeping all the way up, breathing in and breathing out as you sink down. Keeping those hips facing the chair, shoulders down away from the ears. 2 to 3 lovely big deep breaths here. And as we deepen and sink into that pose a little further. And then we're opening up to warrior 2, taking the back foot in line with the back of the mat. Breathing in and sinking down. Shoulders down away from the ears. Knee tracking over the toes. And remembering to keep that bottom tucked in underneath you, so we're not sticking it out and bringing the chest forward, so everything's stacked. And after 2 to 3 breaths, that back hand is going down the back leg. The front arms lifting high in our salutation. We're looking up towards those fingertips. Excellent. Breathing here, stretching down that front side of the body. Lovely. And then bringing that top hand all the way down onto the chair. Sweeping the back hand up and over. Extended side angle, making sure that front knee is still opening over the toes. It's not rocking in towards the middle. Holding here for 2 to 3 breaths. And before bringing that top arm down to the chair, adjusting the feet to step back into downward facing dog one more time. Pressing the bottom back. And sinking down. See if we can get a little bit lower. Then you stretch into those legs, into the glutes and the hips even further. Excellent. And then stepping the feet forwards, coming into our tabletop position on the chair, nice and long, flat back. Breathing in. And then breathing out as you sink down to a full fold. Resting here, relaxing the neck and the head and the shoulders. And then softening the knees and taking a big deep breath in as we sweep all the way up to standing. And breathing out, bringing the hands down the middle. Ready to go on the other side, straight away. Big deep breath in, sweeping up. Breathing out and bringing the hands to the chair. Nice flat tabletop back. Stepping back into downward facing dog. 2 to 3 big deep breaths here. Stretching those legs, lengthening the arms on the spine, pressing into the hips. And then preparing for warrior one on the other side. So stepping the other foot forwards, turning the back foot out 45 degrees, and staying on the chair, lifting the chest, or pressing through the legs and sweeping the arms up overhead, breathing in, and breathing out and sinking down. 2 to 3 breaths, really strong in those legs. Front knee opening over that front toe, hips facing the chair, sinking a little bit lower, reach out breath. And then opening to warrior two, turning the back foot parallel with the back of the mat this time, keeping that front knee tracking out over the toes, arms at shoulder height. Breathing in, reaching tall through the spine, breathing out, sinking down. And then moving into our salutation, bringing the back hand down the back leg, front arm nice and high, looking up at those fingertips, stretching through the front side of the body. Breathing here. Keeping that front knee tracking over the front toes. Sinking down even further if you can. And then bringing the top arm down to the chair, sweeping that back arm up and over. Then coming into your extended side angle, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Nice long back, feeling that lovely stretch all the way down the top side of the body now. And then bringing that front hand down to the chair, adjusting the back foot so that we can step back into downward facing dog one more time, pressing the hips back, lengthening through the back and the arms, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Lovely. And then stepping the feet forwards, coming into your tabletop position, nice long back, breathing in, and then breathing out as you sink down, relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Full fold. And then with your next in-breath, softening the knees and sweeping the arms all the way up overhead. Now breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Excellent, well done. So hopefully those deeper, longer poses have helped to raise that heart rate and get you feeling nice and warm, but in a different way from perhaps how we might normally raise our heart rate by moving quicker. We're thinking about deepening those stretches. So from here, I'd just like to stick with that nice theme of moving in a bit more of a restorative way. We're just going to take 3 gentle salutations just to help bring our heart rate back down before we come into a couple of deeper stretches. So we're starting with a big breath in, reaching up. Breathing out, fold into the chair. Breathing in, lengthening. Breathing out, full fold. And breathing in and sweeping the way up to standing. Breathing out, hands down the middle. And again, big breath in, reaching up. Breathing out, coming down to the chair. Breathing in and lengthening. Breathing out, coming to a full fold. Breathing in and sweeping all the way up to standing. Breathing out, hands down the middle. One more time, let's slow it down. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, folding down. Breathing in and lengthening. Breathing out and folding down. Breathing in and sweeping all the way up to standing. And breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Okay, excellent. From here, we're just going to take the gentle balance just to continue with the focus and the breathing that we've been working on. So you might want to turn your chair around now so that you've got the back of the chair near you, or move yourself. And we're just going to take tree pose. So this one starts with the feet together, and then we're going to shift the weight into the leg that's closest to the chair, release the foot of the other leg, and we can just start by turning the knee out to the side and tucking the sole of the foot into the ankle. And then with the free arm, you can take a half prayer pose. You can take your arms out to the side or in a V. You can keep it on your hip, wherever you want. And we're just going to balance here. Then if you are feeling confident and nice and stable, we can lift that foot up the shin of the standing leg and bring the balance here. And if you want to, you can take the hand off the chair, see if you can balance without that support. Okay? Finding a spot to focus on in front of you, keeping that knee pressing out to the side, and keeping that breath flowing in and out. See if you can balance for 3 breaths. Excellent. And then just returning that lifted foot to the floor, giving the standing leg a shake. And then it's up to you. You can either turn around and face the other side, or if you're able to move your chair to the other side. So we can go on the other leg. So starting both feet together, and then shifting your weight into the leg that's closest to the chair, lifting the foot on the other leg, turning the knee out to the side, tucking the foot in to the ankle. And you can just start here, balancing with that toe still on the floor. Or if you want to, you can bring that foot up onto the shin, pressing the foot into the shin, standing nice and tall. And you can hold it here with your arms wherever you want them to be, wherever feels good for you. And if you want to, you can come to a balance without the chair. 3 breaths here if you can. Find a spot in front of you to focus on. And keep those breaths flowing in and out. And then returning the hands to the chair, the foot to the floor, and giving that standing leg a shake. Now we're going to try that one more time on each side. See if we can hold it a little bit longer and a little bit more sturdy this time. If you want to, you can even take that lifted leg higher. Just make sure that you're not pressing onto the knee joint. So you either want to be below the knee or above the knee. If you can tuck it in up in the thigh, then feel free. But it's quite tricky sometimes to get it to grip, especially if you're wearing slippy leggings. So just find a place that works for you. Okay, so here we go. Feet together first, shifting the weight into the leg closest to the chair, lifting the other leg, turning the knee out, tucking the toes in, and then choosing your place for your foot to go, and either balancing with the chair or without the chair. See if you can hold it for 3 breaths. If you want to, you can take those arms higher. Open them up. Excellent. And then bringing the hand back to the chair and the foot back to the floor, giving that standing leg a shake. And swapping sides. Last time on the other side, really seeing if we can get that balance and focus working. Here we go, feet together, shifting into the leg closest to the chair, lifting the other foot, turning the knee out to the side, and either balancing here, or lifting the foot, and balancing with the chair, or without the chair. Taking the arms higher if you want to. Excellent. And then bring the hand back to the chair and the foot back to the floor, giving that standing leg another shake. Very good. Now, before we come onto our chairs, we're just going to stretch out our glute muscles. That pose in particular really requires quite a lot of work in the bottom and the legs. So let's just give that a little stretch. So turning to face the back of your chair now, and we're just going to bring one leg up and over onto the thigh of the other leg. So a bit like we did in our hip warm up at the beginning, but this time we're standing, facing the chair. And then we're going to press our bottoms back and bend the underneath leg and press into the glute muscle and just give it a little stretch here. Breathing into the stretch. Excellent. And then coming out and swapping sides. Pressing that bottom backwards, bending the supporting leg. Lovely, very good. And then releasing, and then coming into your chair one more time. We're slowing things down even more now. So if you want to pop any warm layers on, then please do. It's definitely a lot colder this week. So just make sure that you're staying nice and warm. And pop my socks back on. We'll just take a couple of gentle stretches here before moving into our relaxation. So just starting with a gentle seated cat and cow. So we're coming forwards with the chest, pressing forwards. If I turn to the side, you can see pressing forwards with the chest, and then through to cat position, curling back, tucking the chin to the chest. Let's do that a few times here, just to work through any tension that might have been building in the back through our exercises. We're coming forwards, seated cow, and seated cat. And again, breathing in as you press forwards, breathing out as you come back. Make it nice, juicy movements, almost as if we're never really stopping, because even when we get into that pose, we're still pushing through, stretching and opening the chest, and lengthening and curling the spine. One more in each position. Lovely. And then coming back up to seated. And then just taking a couple of gentle leg stretches, so sliding one foot away from you, heel on the floor, toes pointing up towards the sky. Stretching down the back of the leg. Now this might be enough for you here. You might want to sit tall and then fold forwards in the hips. You might want to reach the hands towards those toes. So it's a bit difficult for me to demonstrate the full range of this stretch now. So you choose where works for you, where you can feel a nice stretch down the back of the legs. And it might be that you can reach that foot. If you can, try and take hold of the outside edge, the little toe edge of the foot, so that we're keeping the ankle in line with the leg. Breathing here. And then swapping sides. Stretching the other leg forwards. Breathing in, sitting up. Breathing out and folding forwards. Then again, you could fold further, or you could take those hands down towards that leg, towards that foot, sorry. Right. And then releasing and coming back up. And then we're going to move our bottoms back onto our chairs a bit further. Take a little bit of support from the backrest, but still keeping the back nice and long, so not slouching and letting the shoulders fall or the neck come forward. Seeing if we can stay in that lovely posture, but just taking advantage of the backrest now. And then from here, we're going to begin thinking about relaxing our bodies. So to start with, we're going to curl the toes in towards the soles of the feet. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And let any last bits of tension in the feet flow down and away into the ground. And then moving to the legs, thinking about hugging the muscles of the legs tight to their bones. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And then moving to the hands, curling the fingers in towards the palms of the hands, scrunching the hands into fists. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And let any last bits of tension in the hands flow down and away into the ground. And then moving to the arms and hugging the muscles of the arms tight to their bones. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And let any last bits of tension in the arms flow down and away into the ground. And then moving to the shoulders, squeezing the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze, 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 and then relax. And let any last bits of tension in the shoulders float down and away into the ground. And then moving to the face, pressing the lips together, scrunching the nose up, squeezing the eyes shut. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And relax. And let any last bits of tension in the face flow down and away into the ground. And then bringing your focus to your breath and just noticing the air flowing in and out. The rise and the fall of your chest. The sensation of the air passing in and out. Just feel that breath returning now to a nice, comfortable, natural pattern. Just notice if that seems or feels any different to the breath pattern you had at the beginning of the session. And then just to see if we can relax that a little bit more, we're going to take some deep belly breaths. So placing your hands on your tummies, we're going to breathe in and imagine that we're blowing up a balloon in our tummy. And as you breathe in, the tummy's going to press out into those hands, all the way until it can't go anymore. And then as you breathe out, it's going to sink back down, all the way towards the belly button. It might feel a bit strange to begin with, but this is a really great way of helping to create as much space as possible in the for the lungs to expand. So we're forcing the diaphragm to drop, create the space for the lungs to expand, taking in as much air as we can with that big inhale. So here we go, let's do that all together. 3 times. Big deep breath in through the nose, pushing the tummy out towards the hands, as if you're blowing a balloon up inside your tummy, breathing in. And then breathing out, nice and slow and controlled. At the same time, we're drawing that belly button back down towards the spine, feeling it sinking with the hands on the tummy, feeling the hands lowering as the tummy lowers back down. And again, big deep breath in through the nose, pressing the tummy out into the hands as you're blowing up a balloon. And then breathing out, nice and slow and controlled, as you draw that belly button back in towards the spine, noticing those hands sinking down. And last time, big deep breath in through the nose, sitting up tall, pressing the tummy into the hands, imagining that balloon inflating, and then breathing out. Nice, slow, controlled out breath. As the belly button sinks back down towards the spine, you feel those hands sinking back down too. And then just allowing your breath to come back into that more comfortable, relaxed rhythm. And just taking a moment here to be as still in the body and as calm in the mind as we can. And if you notice any thoughts or feelings popping into your head, distracting you, then let's see if we can focus on that breath and the sensations in the body to bring our focus back to what we're doing. If you notice any thoughts popping into your head, then I really want you to focus on your breath. In, on the rise of the chest, and the sound of the air passing in, and then on the out breath, just notice the chest lower back down, and the air passing out through your lips. And you can keep focusing on the breath like that, until you start to feel those thoughts and feelings quietening down as you focus on breathing and relaxing, being as still and as quiet as we can. And then starting to wake the body up again by giving the toes a wiggle, giving the fingers a wiggle, and then stretching the legs away from you, stretching the arms overhead, taking a yawn here if you need to. And then if you want here, you can bring the knees into the chest, one at a time, all together, and just curl the back in, or just curl the back down towards the legs. And then sitting up nice and tall, and just finishing, coming forward slightly on your chairs, with a big deep breath in, reaching up. Now breathing out, and then bringing the hands down the middle. Thank you for joining me again today, everybody. I hope you'll keep warm in this weather, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Naomi.
Thanks, Naomi. Have a nice weekend, everyone, or week.